Let's say a very good morning first, though, to Mr. Richard Holden MP, Shadow Transport Secretary. He's down in Westminster for us. Richard, very good morning to you.
Hi, Mike. How are you doing?
Yeah, very well indeed. Very well indeed. I see that you've been talking about Rachel Reeves this morning on Twitter. She's driven a multi-billion-pound black hole in the British finances. She's coming for cab users. Basically, she's running out of road, is what you say.
It certainly is. She is coming. We know that the government had a legal case this year, which they lost, trying to impose basically VAT right across cabs and private hire across the country. We now think that in the budget they're going to make this change, which would mean an extra 20% increase on every taxi and private hire journey people are taking across the country. And who takes these people? Well, it's people going to medical appointments. It's those families on their way to the airport for a holiday. It's people, you know, doing night shift work and things like that. Yeah. We are going to see the government coming again. They're going to go everywhere they can, and it's quite clear to me that the latest people in their sights are now taxis and private hire firms up and down the country.
Yeah, I mean, what we do know about Rachel Reeves is that she's completely and utterly deluded. I mean, we've got a clip here I think we can play you, in which she says the economy's actually growing. Have a look.
Britain's economy is growing again. We led the G7 in terms of growth in the first half of this year, and the IMF, who is the world's most foremost economic forecaster, has just revised up growth for the UK for a second time in a row. Over the last few months, incomes have been rising faster than inflation, but I know that the impact of price rises in the last few years is still taking its toll on people, and there's more that we need to do. More we need to do so that the economy and people's living standards don't feel so stuck. And that's why, as a government, we are working to keep inflation and interest rates as low as possible. I
mean, I don't know who she's been talking to, but I mean, I don't know anyone who feels any better off. I don't know anyone whose wages have gone up. I don't know, unless you're in one of the unions, I suppose. But, you know, everything's more expensive. People are struggling. What's she talking about?
Well, you're quite right, Mike. We've seen unemployment soar since the general election. We've seen inflation more than double since the general election. And we're seeing the economy being absolutely hammered by things like the national insurance rises. And every firm on the high street I talk to is talking about the business rate rises, which Labour have put in as well as some of those other taxes which are just hitting family businesses across the country, like agricultural property relief, business property relief. People are really worried about those long-term hits to the economy as well. I don't know what Rachel Reeves is thinking. It's pretty clear to me that actually Labour have come in, they've had no plan, they've given massive pay rises to their union paymasters, and it's going to be all of us paying the price for those decisions. And now we're looking to the budget, whether it's VAT on taxis and private hire, whether it's train fares rising above inflation. I'm convinced they're looking at things like fuel duty as well. I am really concerned that it's just going to be normal people paying the price for Labour's failure.
Yeah, and I mean, she talks about the IMF giving him a sort of a thumbs up to the state of Britain's economy and the growth that it's going to be feeling in the future. But also the IMF was warning, was it not, before she went there, that we are going to have the highest rate of inflation in the G7. Why did you mention that?
You're absolutely right. That's exactly what they were warning. In fact, that was just a few days ago that they said they revised up their estimates for inflation in the UK. And that's because of decisions that she's taking. And I'm really worried that things like this extra VAT, which we think they might try and put on taxis and private hire, well, that's just going to feed through into even more inflation as well. They are going to come for absolutely everything. It's quite clear that they are going to come with taxes on absolutely everything in this budget. You are going to be paying, you and the viewers and the listeners are going to be paying for their failure. And we need to have a new approach. We know that we have to get the welfare bill under control, but we also know that Labour MPs just won't even try and do that. They voted against trying to limit the increases in welfare, not even trying to get it down. That's what we should be concentrating on, getting the state back under control, getting welfare under control. That's what Conservatives put forward at our conference recently. We want to get civil service back to 2016 levels. I don't think that's, you know, it's not rocket science. You know, that would save £8 billion a year. That's what we're proposing. We've got a plan there to try and keep spending under control, and therefore we could give actually tax cuts to people. All we're going to see from Labour, though, is tax rises.
And that's going to be something that people are not going to be looking forward to. Let's talk a bit about China, the big story this week about where the Labour government is on this. I mean, Keir Starmer yesterday admitted there was a meeting that did take place, which he previously had denied took place, or the government had denied took place. But he's also said that he might have to go and check to see whether he was right about that. I mean, is he in a bit of trouble over this?
I think Keir Starmer is in serious trouble over this issue. Let's actually look at what happened. Back in April 2024, when the Conservatives were in power, we saw 2 people charged spying for China in the building behind me, in the Houses of Parliament. And then what have we seen since? We saw 2 extra witness statements come forwards while Labour were in government, basically quoting word for word the Labour manifesto, weakening our position on China as a country, weakening our position as a country on China. And that is the cause of all of these issues. And we now know that days before that decision to drop the charges was made, Keir Starmer himself knew all about it and did absolutely nothing. He says he wanted the charges brought. Well, why did he do nothing about it then? It's pretty clear he's been economical with the truth with the British people. He's been very economical with the truth in Parliament. In fact, I think we've got some serious questions to answer here. And whenever we have to get some more questions in the House of Commons, they send out the most junior ministers possible to actually, you know, to flail around, and they get absolutely machine gunned by Conservative MPs because they cannot answer these simple questions. And the Prime Minister is desperate to try and obfuscate and try and merge and try and cover up the details of it, because it's pretty clear what's happened here. Labour allowed a trial of espionage in the UK to collapse because he wants to cosy up to China.
Yeah. And it's not conceivable or credible, is it, to believe that this bloke, Matthew Collins, simply acted on his own and decided willy-nilly, without reference to his boss, Jonathan Powell, or to the Prime Minister, that he would issue statements to the CPS which were effectively representative of the government.
Well, it just doesn't seem credible, Mike, does it?
No.
Right? The idea that parts of the Labour manifesto are taken out and put in letters from the Deputy National Security Advisor to the Crown Prosecution Service without any form of political oversight, without anybody having any conversations on a political level about that. It does not seem credible, right? And yet that is what Keir Starmer is asking us to believe. It is not credible. Keir Starmer's got serious questions to answer. And also we now know that he knew about it days before that this trial was not gonna was going to be pulled unless they provided more information. He told us in the House of Commons that they did everything possible to ensure that this trial would go ahead. It's quite clear that they didn't. It's quite clear that he has not been straight with the British people, and he's not been straight with MPs either. These are really serious accusations when it's clear that, you know, our own democracy has been infiltrated by the Chinese state, and yet what did Keir Starmer do? Absolutely nothing about it, except possibly try and weaken the position of the Crown Prosecution Service.
Well, he specialises in doing nothing, doesn't he? I mean, he said yesterday to an audience of Jewish people that he was going to say he was going to spend £10 million protecting the Jewish community in this country. He said it's all about action, not words. Last night, it looks as though West Midlands Police have taken what looks like a pretty anti-Semitic decision to ban fans from Maccabi Tel Aviv coming to watch their team play in Birmingham because they say they can't guarantee their safety. He says it's the wrong decision. He's made that clear, but he's not doing anything about it.
But, Mike, I mean, you've hit the nail on the head here. It's pretty clear. He's the Prime Minister, right? He is in charge, right? He runs the police, right across the country via the Home Office, right? He could ensure that this match went ahead if he wanted to. Instead, we've got some soft soap, warm words, but absolutely no action. I mean, the Labour government came to power with no plan for the future of the country. That's why we're seeing tax rises, you know, right across the board. He came to, and now on every single issue, because he lacks a backbone, right? He just flops around rather than taking a stand and making decisions. I can't, honestly, what we've seen in Birmingham over the last couple of days is unbelievable. I genuinely didn't think we'd see this in this country. Basically, the state backing up this attack on our community, on our Jewish community, just literally 2 weeks after we saw people murdered on our streets because they're Jewish. I cannot believe it, and I cannot believe that the government has not taken action to sort this situation out already.
I know, it's absolutely shocking. Richard, good to see you. Thank you very much indeed. Richard Holden MP, Shadow Transport Secretary.